She's like literally telling me just help me. I noticed her slowing down a little bit. Like there was just something off about her. And as the weeks wore on, she started to develop a limp. And then I started to get worried. So my vet came out. And when I looked at the bottom of her foot, I saw this huge callus. I assumed like that was what was causing the pain. So, we chalked it up to injury. There we put her on pain medication and we get into December. And now she's really, really limping. And the pain medication isn't helping. She's really starting to decline. The vet came out to see her again and we watched her decline so rapidly that I really panicked. I got her into the hospital immediately. Like she was starting to, like her whole body was shivering and she wasn't eating. This dread just started coming over me. Like this was my worst nightmare. The vets did an x-ray. The vet says to me, yep, she's got an infection. So this was not an injury at all. It was a small infection that had started in the tip of her foot. Basically, we were starting at plan A. She has an infection. We are putting her on like really intense antibiotics. We'll re-x-ray 24 hours later, make sure that infection hasn't moved. 24 hours go by, she's not responding to antibiotics. So we're gonna re-x-ray, then those x-rays come back, and within 48 hours, the infection was so aggressive that it was overtaking her bone joint in her toe. So quickly, we went from plan A to plan Z. I talked about everything with the surgeons there, about Charlotte's, like what her future would look like. And for about probably 12 hours, we were putting her down. And that night, I didn't sleep. I was sitting up in bed, contacting sanctuaries, desperately just like, give me a little bit of hope. Like somebody tell me that you've dealt with this before. I spoke to all these sanctuaries and they were like, yeah, like if they're willing to do the surgery, I think if you could ask Charlotte, she would ask for a chance. I walk into the pen and Charlotte, in the defense of the vets, nobody's seen Charlotte with me since I dropped her off. They just have this big, sick, angry pig in their pen. She sees me and I run to her and she's like hot panting and she's putting her nose all over my face. And it was so beautiful. The doctor started crying. She's like, oh my God, like I've never seen her. I've never, haven't seen her do that. And I'm like, well, that's because I'm her soulmate. The doctor told me there was like this much like time and space for her to heal and recover from this surgery. First of all, is she going to wake up? Second, is she going to stand? Third, is she going to stand without medication? Because the plan was to have her on fentanyl, and that's a very strong drug. And then what's her life going to look like after, even if she can come off the drugs, Is she going to be lying down for her whole life while her friends are in the woods frolicking? Like, there were so many hurdles to get over. They just wanted me to be absolutely clear about how difficult this was going to be. And so she went in for surgery. They removed her toe. Our lives just completely revolved around this pig's needs. And little by little, she just started hitting all those hurdles. We were worrying quite a bit when we pulled the fentanyl, but next thing you know, she was up and walking around without fentanyl. Today, at this time, she doesn't appear to be in any pain. She's not showing us any signs of pain in her foot. It's almost like we're just sort of dealing with all of the aftermath from this huge surgery that we put her through. Like, to some people, we're crazy for doing this, and to some people, it's like just an animal, and not only an animal, it's like just a pig. But to us, it's our family. Like, she affects the everyday overall feeling of our life here. When Charlotte goes, inevitably, obviously one day she's going to have to pass on, and there will be a huge hole in here without her. She is like such a light here, and she's the queen. She's our Pearly Acre queen.